All right, here it is. It is Wednesday. I think it's the 15th, if I remember right. Okay, here we are. And Ken, we're back at camp earlier than we normally would be. But that happened to us last night, too.
Yes. Last night, somebody decided they were in a marching band with the bugle tube and walked up the trail not far from us, spouting off a bugle every 30 seconds or something, and then wandered off. So, figuring he had busted out anything that may have come towards us, we packed up and we explored a little. Walked back to camp a different way than we had before.
Yeah, got to see some different ground. Saw a flock of turkeys, which was fun. And not long after we got back to camp, there were some bugles in the area. We just
vacated.
Yeah, one little meadow area that we'd been looking at, and usually there's people camped in there. This year there's not.
So after all that, it ended up being a somewhat quiet night.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of bugling, wasn't a lot of noise, just coyotes.
Yeah, mostly coyotes. So not really sure what to do this morning. We decided we were just going to try and repeat yesterday morning, and we were there, but the elk missed the memo.
Yeah, I feel like the elk went through, I don't know, from walking in, you picked up elk scent when we walked in, so you knew somebody had crossed that trail that we came in on.
And then we heard a bark.
Yeah, not a good noise. You know, the wind was carrying our scent across from the meadow over into the timber, and that, you know, that bark just lets every stinking elk in the neighborhood know that something's up. So that was not our friend.
But with it still being dark and early, we decided we were going to give it a try anyway.
Yeah. Felt like some of the elk might still be moving in from the meadow or something, still heading for bedding areas that might have missed the bark memo. And
yeah. We sat in the same spot we did yesterday, and I believe my phone said 5:38, and we heard a noise of an engine. And somebody was driving up a, what did you say it was, a Razor or some kind of
side-by-side of some kind.
Up the main trail from behind us, went past us and stopped and turned off the motor. Yeah,
probably only about 125 yards away. I had one spot with my rangefinder. I knew it was 82 yards, and he couldn't have been 125 away from us.
And a couple minutes later, the motor started up again, and off he went. And then as it got lighter, we heard the sound of a couple of bugles, but it may have been our marching band trumpet guy again, just wandering around.
Yeah, I would put hard money on that being what happened, just listening to the bugle and then listening to his traffic pattern through the woods. It was not real elk-like.
Nope.
Like he was walking around the woods hoping to get lucky and keep bugling, even though the elk that he was bugling to could have heard him the first 20 times he bugled. I got no response. He kept going.
Didn't feel like he was playing the wind well either.
No, he worked on the east edge of came to the east edge of the woods and walked through, and the wind was actually carrying his scent from east to west all the way through the timber. So I'm not sure exactly what he was thinking there either.
But we waited a little bit longer just in case he kicked anything out to us. Just kind of hoping, and didn't see anything come through. The squirrels kept us busy. They were incredibly noisy this time around, dropping pine cones and branches everywhere.
Yeah. And I you know, I got in a hurry this morning and I forgot my coat. So I had my 2 layers on, but it couldn't have been warmer than 42 out this morning when we went out. It was only 46 when we came back in. So somewhere in that 40-degree range, and I was getting chilly. So we're having soup.
Yeah. Well, we're back at camp, getting a little warm food in the bellies, and rehash, try and come up with a plan. It's still been awfully quiet.
Yeah, felt like a good opportunity to have something warm instead of trail mix and Cliff Bars.
Yes.
So
We'll see what the afternoon brings us, or the rest of the morning.
yep, we'll let you know how it goes. Ken just found a turkey feather and we're climbing. Feels like we're always going uphill, Ken.
Sure does.
Oh, yeah, give you a little bit of an idea of the terrain as it drops off here. And I would guess we're probably, 9,200 feet, somewhere in that range.
About 91 and a half.
No, well, it was close. Yeah, so onward and upward.
Lesson 274 in the Elk Woods. Watch your wind. Elevation 9,200 probably. Yeah, we were going down. We went around down a ridge, down into some thick stuff. And we ended up bumping a group of cows and probably a bull that was bedded down. And didn't hear a whole lot. And then as we made our way back up to the top of the ridge, I could hear the bull bugling. So I cow called, and soon he was getting closer. So he tried to make a quick setup, and we forgot to account for the wind. And I'm walking to try and get behind Chip far enough to draw the elk past him, and I felt the wind just hit me right in the face. And just like that, the elk were quiet. And yep, probably not gonna remember that lesson fully next time, but we'll try.
In the heat of the moment, sometimes until you've done this enough and it's second nature, you don't think about all the variables every time. So it would have been nice. I was waiting. The reason I was set up was hoping the bull was going to drag a cow or two with him, and then we'd be able to
Punch one of them.
Yeah, because I told Ken, this is really, some of the stuff I want to pack elk out of, just to prove that we can do it, because
Well,
they would run downhill, right?
Well, I don't normally want to contribute to insanity. I will pack an elk out.
Yeah, if we can make it happen, and this is where
If you don't know the name Larry D. Jones, then you probably are listening to the wrong podcast.
Your podcast
We
just
are
turned on. What are you
greatly
doing?
honored to have Larry here with us on the podcast today. So
Thank you.
welcome, Ben and Larry.
Thank you,
pause
Larry.
button.
Man,
Hang on,
was
I'm
not
trying to
kidding
find
when I
it.
told you.
It's the big one right in the middle of the screen.
Right. How did it go to Android Auto?
I have no idea.
Technology is not your friend in the woods. I'm just saying, put your phone on silent and be done. If you're texting, there's a reason people don't answer. They're on silent.
Oh, all right. Well, that was our little version of Midday Madness.
Wow.
Thinking about it later, looking at that area that looked like it could be full of elk, we should have just let out a bugle and that bull would have come charging at us, ready to skewer us and throw us into oblivion.
And hopefully the cows would have got up in a spot where we could see them, have a decent shot. The cows we saw get up just where it was
Just
too
too
thick,
far.
60, 70 yards away through thick brush, and just didn't give us an opportunity. And, they're not dumb. So,
No, they're not.
So they're still running around. And so are we.
Yeah.
They're not dumb. That's why the average elk hunter has a 15% success rate.
Yeah, you do it yourself over the counter guys.
Yeah.
15%. So, you know what? We're not done yet.
Nope, we still got some time.
Yep.
Let's go.
Make the most of it.
Let's go get an elk.
Yeah. Okay, this is probably like 2 minutes after the last video, but here we are. Yeah, like, how far down the trail did we go from where we did the last video?
I don't know, maybe 50, 60 yards. And you could just whiff and whiff and whiff of elk. And all of a sudden, Chip freezes and says, "How far?" And I'm like, "To what?" And I look, and then I could see an elk body ranged at 60. So at least we had a number.
He said body. It was a butt.
It was
All
a
we
butt.
had was a butt.
I saw a little bit more of the body because I was like 2 steps behind you.
I should have gone backwards instead of forwards, but I didn't have any better view.
No, it would have been worse because that branch was right in the way. I had to duck under. And yeah, 60 yards. One bush in the way. Otherwise, it was wide open.
Broadside.
Broadside.
And a calf behind her in the brush.
Yep.
So I try sneaking up. Well, not really. I just try and move slowly a few steps forward, trying to find the shoulder behind the brush and hope that she gives me an opportunity.
That didn't work.
She took the opportunity to trot off.
Yep. And we called at her and she slowed down. And then I saw the calf coming out behind her. But they both went through the opening and kind of slowly trotted off. It looked like they were curling around to our left, so Chip tried to sneak up. I tried to stay back and call to keep their attention. And
So they didn't run. They didn't booger real bad on us. And we're just going to keep walking the trail and see if maybe we can
do it again, because it worked last time when we did a video.
Yeah, so see if we can run into another elk, and hopefully this one gives us a front shoulder to look at.
Yeah, that'd be great. And it's a cow.
Yeah, yeah.